it's Bill. I'm back again with today's episode being the big three. The big three being my tent, my backpack, and I'm gonna do my whole sleep system instead of just the sleeping bag or quilt, and kind of go over what I chose, why I chose it, and I'll give you some weights. And it's pretty easy to put this all this stuff in a spreadsheet. If you haven't seen it before and you're looking to do that to get an idea, there's a few websites out there. The one that I like to use is called lighterpack.com. You can also use, I think it's Pack Wizard and things like that, but they work well in helping to keep things organized. So without further ado, I'm gonna grab my backpack here that I chose, and I did make a couple modifications. It's the Durston Kakwa 55 liter 200 Ultra X. It's a very light backpack. So let me grab that and I'll show the modifications. You're supposed to go with me. My daughter's filming.
Oh, sorry.
And she just keeps it in the same place. This is the backpack. It comes already with both your hip belt pockets, although I found the hip belt pockets to be pretty small. You can't keep a ton in them, but it's got a water bottle pocket and another one you can use for a cell phone or another bottle of water. Again, there's a couple of modifications I did. I added the lumbar pad. You can get this from Zpacks. It actually fits this Durston Kakwa. It's a lot more comfortable. It was surprising the difference it made. And that lumbar pad is only 28 grams, so you're not adding that much weight. A couple other modifications that I did is from SomeDave on Etsy. He has some Dave gear or something like that. Has some different things. I got the tie-down strap. So instead, this is a roll top. So you take it and you roll it down, and then you take this part and where is it? There it is. And connect it like this. Once you get that, and you can connect the roll top together. Instead, you can just connect it to your sides and tighten it down. I actually, when I did the Foothills Trail, a gentleman that we ran into out there and had this same backpack and had that modification. So I got the idea from him, and it worked really well for him. And instead, when I was roll topping the whole thing, it was a little more difficult. So this just eases that process a little bit. The last thing I did was I added some shock cord to the back to a couple of these things, and I can put one of my sleeping pad pieces in here, and it made for an easy carry. I really like that. Just bought some cheap shop cord on Amazon and did that. That is the backpack. In the backpack, I did put a Nylofume Liner. You can do a trash compactor bag, whatever. They're all pretty cheap, but just keep everything from getting wet when I'm out there. Next up is I did grab a rain cover that I'm not going to take with me all the time. It's from my old backpack. I had an Osprey. I'm going to take this at the beginning when I go, just because I'm going to be wearing a total rain suit. Bring with me a rain suit instead of just a poncho. I'll switch out to the poncho once the weather gets a little bit warmer, and then I will ditch this rain cover once that happens. Next up, I'm going to go with what I chose for sleeping. It is the Enlightened equipment, and I got the 20-degree down quilt. That comes in, the backpack, by the way, comes in at 870 grams. That's with the modifications. I also have the, where is it? All right, there it is. This is 26 ounces. This is the long and the wide version that I'm glad I chose the long and the wide version. Fits great. You put it down to your sleeping pad. There's a strap that it connects to it. Really like this when I went, kept me warm. Really like this piece of gear, much better than my old sleeping bag that I had. Next up, for sleeping, I have a couple other things. I am taking a liner with me for a couple reasons. Add just a minuscule amount of warmth, but it's a little more comfortable to get into, to be honest, when I did. And then the second thing, help keep everything a little bit cleaner. This is easily washable. And then once it gets to the summer, once it gets too heavy or too hot, I'll go straight to just maybe sleeping in the liner. I went with the Nemo Tensor insulated pad. This is the long and wide. I'm about 6 feet. I would recommend to somebody, the wide's great. I really do like the wide. Even if you're a smaller person, the wide's still great, I think. But the long is really long. If I did it again, instead of just buying another sleeping pad, I decided just to stick with it. But I would go with the regular length in the future. Again, I'm 6 feet tall, and I still would go with the regular length. It's just a little bit longer than what I like, but it's still fine. I'm still fine. That comes in at 21 ounces for the pad. It's got a great R value. It was great. I went out in November timeframe on the Foothills Trail, and the pad was fine and never got cold from beneath on the ground or anything like that. And it got below freezing when we were out there, so that was terrific. Next up, I have my tent. I tried. Well, excuse me. I got one more thing. My last two things. I'm bringing a second, just a cheap accordion style pad to put underneath of my sleeping pad. If I'm in a shelter, keep it from getting holes in it. Also, this will double as my sit pad, and since I got a big butt, I can use the extra bit to give me a little bit more padding when I'm down there. But this is what I strap to the back of the backpack with that shock cord. I'll give you a later video with everything, so it's all in there. You can see it. And then I also got the Trekology. What is it? The Trekology Aluft 2.0 pillow. It straps down also to the Nemo Tensor. It was fine. That I heard some people that love it don't like it. It's really light. It's 3.9 ounces. It's an inflatable pillow. When I took it, the pillow was not a problem for me at all. I thought the pillow was great, and I'm a finicky sleeper sometimes, so that was a concern. But that was a great pillow, and it was small and light enough. Instead of getting one of these ones that are just so much heavier, that are certainly comfortable, but this was plenty comfortable enough for me, anyways. Then I went with the Durston XMid 2. I did a lot of research. I've tried a few different things. My son has a big Agnes. I tried that tent. It's fine, but I really like this tent. It's pretty roomy inside. I just went with the regular version instead of the Pro version. That's a little bit heavier, I know, but the price difference is significant, and it was significant enough that I just went with the regular. I did get the Durston Groundsheet to go with it. Reason I did that, I know you can cut a piece of Tyvek to fit it, but this is already done, and it already had all the loops put in. I didn't have to do any of that type of stuff, so it fit perfectly, obviously, with the tent. I like the Groundsheet. Groundsheet's great, but this tent, when I used it, wonderful tent. Really liked it. Does have some condensation because it's a single wall tent. That's just what you're going to get though in those things. But again, the tent itself was really good. I did make a couple changes. I didn't keep these stakes that came with it. They're okay. That instead I went with 4 MSR Groundhog stakes. And I'll tell you what these other pieces are that are hanging on here in a second. And then, get them out of here. 2 minis that I'm bringing with me that I can get out of the bag here. And then 4 Carbon Core MSR just stakes. They're pegs basically. These weigh 6 grams each, the Carbon Core ones, and the other ones are all very lightweight. I might get some stakes later on, but you only really have to have 4 stakes for the Durston tent if the weather is not too windy. But there are some additional tie downs you can do, and some different ways you can configure it with additional stakes to move your fly around and things like that. So I'm going to carry the extra ones with me, and these stakes were great. I really liked them. I got from CamsBackpackingGear on Etsy, and he was great to deal with. I asked him a lot of questions, and he was terrific. But I got a stake pusher. Major difference with or without that. Fits both the mini groundhogs and the regular groundhog. Makes putting in the stakes simple. It was something that I went with another guy. He did not have a stake pusher. He was trying to put his in with rocks. You can do it, or with his feet. But he quickly ran over and was using mine all the time because it was that much easier. And this thing is light as can be. I mean, it's 3D printed. It's just a couple grams, and it was terrific. Then I also got a stake cleaner. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think it's 6 grams, so it's not carrying a whole lot of weight. I got this from Garage Grown Gear, so there's someone on there. I forget who provides that, but it was on there. It's really cheap. Figured I'd take it with me. I did use it when I was out there. It's not a necessity by any stretch of the imaginations. If it wasn't so light, I might not bring it, but I did bring that along for that. So that is my big 3. My big 3, as it's set up, including the pack liner and the pack cover, everything in here, I'm at about 8.4 pounds, 8.41 or something like that. That's for the backpack, the quilt, the liner, the pillow, the sleeping pads, everything that I have here. That's what it is. By changing the stakes over, I save a little bit of weight. Not significant, but a little bit. But these groundhogs are great. If you haven't used them before, they're certainly grab hold of things and did a terrific job, and I really like them. But that's my big 3. I did have a different couple of things beforehand, and I just switched to each of these after doing a lot of research. And so far on my shakedown hike, I was very happy with each of these. I had a old Osprey Atmos, I think 65 liter backpack, which I really liked. It's very comfortable, but it's big and it's heavy. And this one saved me. It cuts the weight in over more than half. So that made a big difference. And the Durston here with the Ultra Fabric is water resistant. I don't know how, I've heard some people claim that it's not the best, that you still get water all over the place. But I've heard other people talk about how, in lighter rains and stuff like that, it does make a difference. So I don't know, to each their own. That's why I'm bringing a pack liner. Getting things wet inside is not what I really want. Again, the Nylofume liner will take care of a lot of that. So I probably don't need the pack cover. I might get rid of that later, before it's time to switch over to the poncho. But that's what I brought with those things. And switching to a quilt from a sleeping bag does make a difference. If you've never switched to try to quilt out or anything like that, they're pretty easy to use. I was a little nervous as a guy who's not super young and hip into all these things that a quilt will be difficult or uncomfortable, or I'd roll around. None of those things. It's great. Just cut down your weight a little bit, and it makes things perfectly fine. That quilt I really like. But that's my big 3. I'll have a couple more videos coming out before I leave. I'm about 2 weeks away from leaving. I wanted to do a lot of these outside. However, we've had nothing but snow and ice here in the Richmond, Virginia area for over 2 weeks. It's still everywhere. So it's not really conducive to me shooting much outside at all. So I decided to come inside, and my daughter was kind enough to video me for this. So I have one coming out with the rest of my gear. I'll break down everything, including a few other unique things that I'm planning on bringing, and then I'm going to do one about trail names. And if there's anything else beyond that, I'm not sure. But again, we're 2 weeks out from leaving, and I'm excited to go. If you enjoy this, and I'll try to bring these out on a regular basis, and I'll try to do every day when I'm on the trail. Like, subscribe, and this is for everybody else, for friends and family. Wish me luck, and I'll be keeping in touch with you guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day.